I have a pressing question for you folks out there. Have you ever wanted to watch High School of the Dead and Tokyo Ghoul combined into one apocalyptic masterpiece where you get the Gakuen of the ghouls, the eyes of the ghouls, the black eyes of the ghouls, the threat, and the spread and the pandemic response of the High School of the Dead? Congratulations, we have our show here that I'm reviewing that you could watch. One caveat, it's a show that I'm watching, so therefore it's not gonna be above board. What's up guys, 747 and welcome to Watch Plus. Coming your way. The show reviewing today is called Gakuen Shinshoku XX of the Dead. It's made by Show 10. It's a 2017 animation. It looks like there are more episodes that's supposed to come out. It left on a cliffhanger in episode 2, but guess what? It's been 4 years and nothing has came out of it.
Oh my god. Oh.
Now, of course, it's coming from the source that I watched it from, so there could be more episodes that I don't know about. I'm not going to look it up because I've seen enough as is to warrant a video response. Yay! So why are we in the snow? We're in the snow because this show left me feeling cold. We went back from the last video, which is kind of wholesome, to this, which is kind of not. So basically we have, like I mentioned before, a random spread of tentacle zombies just going everywhere. And apparently this is a worldwide pandemic that they don't really explain how it started, just a phenomenon all of a sudden boom around the world. And what it does is, right, for the men, they just instantly get the brain, just plaster their tentacles on the brain, and then they use the tentacles sensations to go inside the nervous system, juggle in there a little bit, go inside of their spine, and then next thing you know, they're Tokyo Ghoul, half demon, half human hybrid. Sometimes they're full demons, whatever, regardless. My point is, the men, they just get instantaneous control. The women, however, they go through a 3-step process of being blended and then filled and then possessed. And in some cases, they don't get possessed until they're fully filled. In some cases, they get possessed immediately. It all depends on what the scene requires at the moment, which I feel like they go through every single requirement they want at any given moment. I will say this though, the monsters kind of look like the monsters way back in Witches Still in a Row. Kind of just disgusting, slinkies, fleshy, open mouth creatures. Yeah, those are back for this show here, and it's beautiful. Now, what they go through and show us multiple times in this show, which I find hilarious, is people trying to escape. And then the sentient being, which I assume is connected to one final being, which they reveal at the end of the second episode, which is being controlled by this one girl. They are now claymores. So when someone walks around them, they blow up in the form of capturing them, and then they become a part of their zombie army as well. Like for example, when Hoichi, Shijutsu, and Rengoku team up, they group up with other members and staff after meeting up and saying they're only survivors, and there's like 30 other survivors in this entire school, which I assume has 400 people. They meet up with Daisuke, Saori as well. All these 6 people meet up, they decide to split up because Saori and Daisuke have to use the restroom, which is the worst thing to do because apparently for some reason, in the next 2 episodes we're gonna see here, whenever all these people are together in the library in one room, they don't get touched. But the moment they step outside this library, they're confronted by all these plant zombie things, these human zombie hybrids. And I'm thinking, like, why would you ever leave if you have multiple instances where you have seen people step out, get killed instantly? Like, why would you ever leave that place? And I say about 4 or 5 or 6 out of the 15 group of people that they have formed together, survivors, just knocked the left flies, all because they stepped outside and wanted to do something. For example, this old guy here, he stepped outside because he just wanted to escape, even though he knew that Rengoku and Jinmu died from trying to escape the same exact way. And he saw them getting ethered because they were right outside the window of the library they were protected from. This story as well also has no good sides to it. There's no like superpowers, just like, oh my god, he's the chosen. There's no Bible Black redemption moments. It's just pure, unadulterated, unfiltered havoc and mayhem that is being unleashed towards these ragtag group of people. Now, of course, there has to be a villain of some sort, right? For this main 2 episodes. Well, who's the villain? Toka is the villain. Now, why would I call Toka the villain? Well, when she was one of the first people who got ethered because she was in the nurse's office.
Put the demon in your mouth and pull the clean up out your ass.
The nurse's office was one of the first places that got invaded, the entire school itself. She had sort of a sentient response to it. Like, she was like semi-conscious to the point where she could control her actions, to the point where she can make other people zombies without their brain just being in the brain. She can make her own drones, essentially. Because when these people turn into these rabid zombies that are the Tokyo Ghoul aesthetics, they just are able to transform other people to be zombie drones themselves and then move on. But Toka was doing it strategically in such a way where she was targeting and selecting certain people as if she has full control of this power, not that she's being controlled by the power to just infect and spread the disease. So Toka is selectively and specifically targeting people who are around Koichi, who is the main character, or around anyone associated with Koichi, or who has a potential love interest. Like, for example, Natsumi here, who Daisuke found and decided to turn her, but he didn't fully turn her because Natsumi gained the power of the zombies while being blended up, you know? And because she wasn't fully turned brain-wise, she still had enough consciousness to fully just murder Daisuke, the person who turned her, who got turned from being weak in the bathroom, obviously. And now she is in the Toka's position where she has full consciousness, full control of her powers. However, she's never human again because she has these powers in the first place. So she's on Toka's level now. So whenever she confronts Toka, she can just fight her equally and everybody else can escape and leave. But up until that point, Toka's the evil one because she's just sniping people out selectively here and there, here and there, here and there. Occasionally she'll just gather more drones and troops who are zombie infested creeps to go on her army. But most instances she's like bang, 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 just killing anybody who has potential love interest towards Koichi. Or is just stupid like the old guy I mentioned earlier and just walked outside of the protective library for some reason. And so we get to this point where Toka underestimates Natsumi because she doesn't predict Natsumi can be at her level and everybody else gets to run away. Now, where they're running to, I don't know. What shelter would be safe in the library? Because the library, apparently the windows were indestructible. I don't know. I really don't know. Because the way this is going, half of that crew from the half that already got infected are going to get infected again. But apparently, all this was leading up to the final episode scene where we see a factory of women, just like an Inyu just being pumped full of the fluids, which then in turn, they can make more of these zombie plants, which then in turn can affect more people, which then in turn, the people can start spreading it all around the campus. It seems like since there has been no hero at this point, other than Natsumi herself, but she had to turn, it seems like this is going to be a self-destructive aspect where they're gonna slip up and be caught weak in a position where Hoichi and his side sang, Shijutsu, can just shoot her arrows at them, and then they'll be weakened, and then they'll interrogate the monsters, and then they'll be like, oh, our leader's over there underneath this staircase by the band room, and then they find the leader full of all these concubines in their room. They go to the leader, and they'd be like, hey, let go of all the people, cure the world. And then the leader would be like, fine, whatever, but not until you give me your soul. Something like that. Because Inyu is giving me somewhat of a hint as to where this is going. Basically, no good ending, because if there was going to be a good ending, they would have hinted towards some hope in the beginning, but there's no such thing. So therefore, I'm assuming the worst of the worst. Now, of course, tentacles, that ain't your thing, get away from this. 30-minute episodes each, again, that ain't your thing as well, get away from this. Because I've noticed as well, a lot of the shows that have like 30+ minute episodes, the scenes just go on forever. Like, at least in these 60-minute episodes that I watch sometimes, they're pretty short scenes because they have to focus on like building up context for the next scene, which then they can take up the whole show. But this stuff, it's like, yeah, I got you tortured. I got you tortured. And that's basically the whole recipe there. But yeah, should you watch this? Do you care about your sanity? Somewhat. It isn't like mind-breaking, but it's just like, I don't want to see that filth. It's so disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. Like, it does go a bit overboard. No gore though. So if that's something, you can look forward to that. Alright guys, I'll have an outro about if I did. Wouldn't matter because don't make so much a video. Good night.